Yeah.
So everybody is trying to add to the noise, add to the news or narrative in some way. You have to understand it's a war of narratives. In politics out there, it's a war of narratives. The only thing is who's building a narrative in which way. And some people use sarcasm, some people use memes, some people use fact checking. There are various tools to do that. So everybody has a right to say whatever they have to say.
Welcome to the New Indian Express. This is Alicia, and today I am in conversation with author and filmmaker Mr. Vivek Agnihotri. Mr. Agnihotri, thank you for joining me.
Hello,
here.
Alicia.
Hi. So you have been talking about urban naxalism, right? So the first question I'm going to shoot at you is the term urban and naxal that you have coined. It's a beautiful term, but don't you think it's a bit of an oxymoron?
It should have been. I wish it was. But if you see the Naxals or the so-called Maoists, they have been running this proxy war against India for the last 50 years. And their objective has been to take over the state of India, not the government, the state of India, which means all your top institutions like Parliament, Supreme Court and everything, so they can take the country. And in order to do that, they wrote a document, a strategic document. It's called Urban Perspective in 2004. And the document states that in order to take over the state of India, they should have a strong presence in urban areas and take over the cities of India. And to capture the cities of India, they have to take the Naxal activities in the urban areas by appointing front organizations and by employing people and recruiting people from there. So therefore, it's called urban Naxalism.
Okay, so if I understand it correctly, you're saying that taking insurgency through educated people, right?
In cities, and they have demarcated different groups. One group is labor, because when you have hold over the labor, you can stop the machinery of the city anytime.
Okay.
You know, so if tomorrow they say, okay, all taxi drivers and all restaurant workers and all mill workers, they should go on a strike. They will go on a strike. The city will come to a standstill.
So trade unions, basically, you're talking about.
Yeah, labor basically.
Labor.
And then the second very important is the intellectuals. Intellectuals means people who are in policy making, people who are in bureaucracy, people who are in media. Then the third is academics, which means professors in colleges, because when professors can brainwash the children, then these students can be recruited to become their soldiers.
Soldiers. That's very interesting. So now you say academics and students. So do you look at the people like Kanhaiya, Umar and Shaila as also urban Naxals? Will you call them that?
They call themselves urban Naxals. I don't have to say that. They say they are urban Naxals.
That happened only after you put out that tweet asking for people to give you names for that crowdsourced list. I don't know why did you want that in the first place.
Okay, because this has been a habit of these people to publish lists of people to defame them, you know, and to boycott them. For example, there was a journalist who in Parliament, she wrote a list of trolls and it came in Parliament, and because of that, a lot of people had to lose their jobs. They have been doing it all the times, and there's nothing wrong in it. Urban Naxals are the enemies of this country, and I'm not saying that. Is the Home Minister of Congress government, they gave an affidavit in Supreme Court and they said that these are the enemies of the country. Every single person, right from Indira Gandhi till Rajnath Singh, everybody has in Supreme Court and in Parliament, they have said these are the enemies of the country.
Right.
Anybody who's killing our innocent people is enemy of country. Now, you tell me, anybody who supports these enemies of the country, what do you do with them? So what's wrong in making a list of them?
So it's not wrong, but the names, it's a crowdsourced list, right? So the names that pop up, there was Rajdeep Sardesai, there was Shagurika in there. So a journalist, you said
the tweeting is an art, do you understand?
Yeah.
Sometimes you tweet to make a point. Okay, this was in reaction to when the lists were coming out. There are people who are running fact-checking websites and they publish names of people and lists of people, and then these people are losing their jobs. Do you know that? The young girls, they are being attacked by trolls because they publish their names. And tomorrow you can be a victim of that.
I am a victim of that.
You are. Everybody in Twitter and social media becomes a victim of that. So therefore, it was to make a point. I said, why not make a list of all the urban Naxals? Why not tomorrow if somebody says, let's make a list of terrorists, is there anything wrong in it?
No.
It happens. So why? Urban Naxals are worse than terrorists. Because terrorists, you know, they come from across the border, but urban Naxals are working in your own country.
So these people that you said Shaila or Umar or Kanhaiya, these people, I'm just taking their names because they have.
Yeah, please do. I'm very much in favor of taking names.
Yeah, they are the poster boys of urban naxalism, right? But I don't understand. They have a very limited base, fan base, or following, whatever you call them. They are merely students and activists, student activists or student politicians. They are just beginning their journey. They have a very little fan base. So they are.
They are in their mid 30s. They're not beginning their lives.
They are in their end 20s. Yes, end 20s, early 30s. They have a very little potential, like threat to the. They are a very little threat to the country. They are not at all threat to the country. That's what I believe, because they don't have any power. But then you have a person like Yogi Adityanath or even Akbaruddin Owaisi who are known for spewing hate. One person is a chief minister in Uttar Pradesh. One person holds a very powerful place in Hyderabad. They are a larger threat. They have a larger following.
How is Yogi Adityanath a threat to this country? He's an elected chief minister of this country. Millions of people love him. Millions of people have faith in him. Why is he a threat to the country?
He is a threat to the country because prior to becoming a chief minister, he has been spewing hate.
After becoming the chief minister, has he done anything?
No. Nothing
then why is a threat to the country? Has he said listen to me, has he said anything against the country?
No, nobody says that.
Right, do you think he wants to take over the state of this country?
No.
Is he celebrating terrorists?
No. Why would he?
He's not.
No.
The names you took, Shaila, Kanhaiya and all these people, they have been raising slogans in favor of a terrorist.
Can you give us examples?
They said for Afzal Guru they have done. They have talked about Desh ke tukne honge. And I'm saying it today if you see, I never say that. I'm saying it now when the forensic reports are out and they are, everybody has seconded that they are authentic reports. It's only after that has come out, they did raise those slogans.
But well, that's again debatable. But also talking about fake news, you also mentioned in the panel about fake news and you corrected. There was this tweet, I wrote it down, I'm going to read it out. You said breaking : Azadi Premi #Urban Naxal ke Masiha Tukro ke Paigambar secular Janab Kanhaiya talking about his religion publicly. So it was him. It came out, again, fact-checking websites like Alt News or Boom Live, they came out and they said it's a doctored video. He was quoting Maulana Azad where certain sects were joined. Did you happen to take down that tweet or was it true on your part?
No, I never deleted that. I don't delete my tweets, number one.
Okay,
I was making a point. Okay, and I'm not a news channel.
No.
Okay, the onus is not on me.
Yeah.
I'm just a citizen of this country. It's not my job to create fake news and all those kind of things. There is something, somebody tweeted it and I reacted on that. And the so-called fact-checking units, you are talking about, they are all paid units of some party or the other. All the parties have their own people and they call themselves fact-checking units just to show the other person down.
That's the IT cell.
Right, so
that's the IT cell working.
Everybody's IT cell is working. It's not that one party.
Definitely.
Everybody is
if
working.
BJP has one,
and forget the parties. Even the corporations are running these kind of cells. Everybody has an IT cell these days. The first thing when you start a business, you say, okay, let's have people in IT and let's cover the social media.
Yeah.
So everybody is trying to add to the noise, add to the news or narrative in some way. You have to understand it's a war of narratives.
Okay.
In politics out there, it's a war of narratives. The only thing is who's building a narrative in which way. And some people use sarcasm, some people use memes, some people use fact-checking. There are various tools to do that. So everybody has a right to say whatever they have to say. But there are no two ways about it, that they did raise slogans in support of Afzal Guru.
So you said everybody has a right to say what they want to
say. Of course.
And that's of course, we have freedom of expression, definitely. That again comes with reasonable restrictions and we are
with certain restrictions given by constitution.
Yeah, constitution.
So not respecting those is like disrespecting constitution.
Which I think everybody feels things are getting abused lately. But coming back to what you said, that people are allowed to say what they want to say, that's perfectly fine. So you think when we say that people are allowed to say whatever they want to, we are also creating a space to push misinformation. That's when the whole fake news era comes. When you can doctor anything, and because we have freedom of speech and we can just go with it.
Okay, of course. But you have to understand this whole debate of fake news.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, it's got the word news in it.
Yeah.
When you peddle an opinion or an impression or an observation as news, then only it is a fake news.
Okay.
A general citizen, like for example, a religious preacher, he says that if you do this, this will happen.
Right.
That can be absolutely fake. There is some Swami, I saw the videos, absolutely crap. I mean, he's talking, I don't know, rubbish. That is not fake news.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, he's just spreading
Okay?
misinformation.
A mother saying, my child is the most beautiful child in this world,
Yeah.
however wrong it may be, but it's not fake news.
Yeah, that's a perception.
Fake news is when something is put out in the newspaper, on a website or on television channels and it's propagated as a fact, then it's a fake news.
But then that's true, what you said is largely true, but then people also consume these tweets or the tweets as information, right? People use Twitter to push information. We news organization largely use Twitter to push information. So when people see something on Twitter, they immediately think, oh, it's information, it's news to me. So then the onus is not completely on the organizations. You're getting my point?
But this is not anything new. It's been happening since the time human beings are there on this earth, you know.
Yeah, okay.
People sit in their drawing rooms and they talk. Somebody says, "Hey, something happened, something happened." People do that. As a human being, your friends, if you have two friends, one will say something about you in one group, one will say something else in another group, you know. But people are smart.
Okay.
Right? People totally understand what is right and what is wrong, and accordingly they make their opinions and associations. So tomorrow, when I tell me one thing, before me so many people have spoken about urban Maoism, including the Home Minister of this thing. Okay, why is it that when I started talking about urban naxalism, people started believing it?
Okay.
Because
are people still are people believing it?
ask all those people who were clapping here, people who just came and taking selfies with me, ask them. Right? Journalists are not believing it. Journalists are not believing it because a whole lot of media is infested by urban naxals.
Okay.
You know, a whole lot of media, and their only purpose is to peddle their agenda. And there are so many news websites which are operating. I'm not talking about, this is Mr. Goenka's newspapers, obviously this is something else. You are sitting in one of the highest journalistic standards, that's
Secure
another
places.
thing. Yeah. But that's what they are doing, and most of them are funded by people who are against India. Why is it so difficult to understand this? Why are we defending it?
Right. Thank you for having this conversation with me. This is Mr. Vivek Agnihotri, and he is coming up with his new film, which is, if you want to
The
say
Tashkent
something,
Files.
The Tashkent Files.
Yeah,
And
this film is about the mysterious death of Lal Bahadur Shastri.
right. And do we have any release date for it?
Yeah, it's coming in first week of late March. The film is coming. You'll get to know about the date in next few days. The film has 5 national award winning actors, Nasiruddin Shah, Mithun Chakravarti, all those people. And I hope, and the theme of the film is right to truth. Because I somewhere after researching believed the biggest problem with India today is that the first fundamental right should be right to truth.
Yeah.
Otherwise, so many scams, scandals, assassinations, and we till date don't know any truth.
Right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in.